Hey everyone. I think we could start. In the meantime, people is joining us as we talk. Um, so first of all, my name is Sergio Sanchez, and it is a pleasure to welcome you to the FlexSite launch webinar. It's been a long journey since the first spark of an idea uh, for the platform. But we think and we hope what we are building and what we are about to unveil is the platform that every Drupal team needs. So an idea is not the complex part, maybe. Maybe the trickiest part is execution. So we didn't want just to provide a prototype. We didn't want just to start with a sketch of the platform. We wanted to ship a product, and that's what you are about to see. Um, it's been exciting at every step. I have to say that because as Drupal developers, programmers for a long time, um, the more we build is the more we want to improve. And every team, every project we have built with Drupal has taken us to this point. So without further ado, I think we could start sharing the today's agenda. I'll start introducing our team and sharing our company vision. Then I will walk you through the core features and basically the backbone of what we are building here. We will show you how FlexSite could eliminate hosting waste, which is our motto, eliminating waste resources from hosting platforms. And then that will allow teams to focus on what really matters, what adds value. And then we will share some perks for early adopters and exciting opportunities for Drupal developers as we will unveil the world's first Drupal marketplace. And finally, we will preview our roadmap and how it will position FlexSite as one of the best in class hosting services. I think we're ready to go to the next slide. Thank you. Um, So a bit about me. I'm a Drupal triple certified developer on Drupal 8, 9, and 10, and also hold a couple more certifications like Acquia Certified Cloud Pro and Certified Ethical Hacker. And I've been a programmer for 13 years, and it feels like twice that time, like 26 years since at the same time I'm working on Drupal projects, I've been exploring other technologies and I've been learning um, about disruptive tech uh, like Kubernetes, Lambda, Python, infrastructure as code, even mobile and gaming development. So while I'm strong at Drupal backend, and that's my primary skill, I'm a true technology enthusiast. That's it. Do you mind introducing yourself, Ivan?
Yeah. Hi, everyone. I'm Ivan Duarte, or Ivan, Spanish version. So, yeah, similar to Sergio, I've been working with Drupal with, yeah, more than 13 years as well. A lot of companies and a lot of challenges working with Drupal, being full stack developer, also a triple certified developer, Drupal contributor with different modules and patches for Drupal. So yeah, we have been in the Drupal world doing a lot of time. We have been experiencing a lot of the things that we are trying to solve with this platform. We have experienced the worst situations. We have experienced the pain points. We have felt the frustration of some of those existing providers and solutions. So for that reason, we were like taking all that experience and all our love for Drupal development into a platform that can make not only easy that now Drupal is moving to an easy for site builder, but also for the people to start adopting Drupal in some way, because still the hosting can be a limitation for multiple people to start using Drupal, because the hosting is still very technical in the Drupal development area. So yeah, I can continue from here. and I can start uh, letting you know maybe what are the advantages or what are the things that we really wanted to solve. So as you could see in the current slide, in the left side, I have like the representation of the current hosting strategy for most of the providers and the traditional way. And in the right side, I'm showing you the model that we want to provide to the people that is the most efficient model that should be that exists for hosting at this time. So basically, in the traditional hosting on other platforms, you used to grow per plans or per tiers. So basically, when you are experiencing performance issues or something like that, what they offer is just to increase your plan to go to the next plan. And in the next plan, they will increase the storage, they will increase the CPU, they will increase the RAM, and they will be increasing other things. And maybe you don't need all those things. It is like having like a warehouse full of racks that you are not using, and you are paying for all of them. You are trying to maintain all of them, but you are not really using all of them. So basically, there is a waste of resources for you or for your team, and also there is a waste of resources in general because that's computing energy that we are using. What we want to do with FlexSite is to do a smarter strategy to that. Instead of paying for things that you are really not using, instead of spinning up environments that you will need to use maybe 3 months ahead or something like that. Instead of that, you will can just start with the minimum thing and then start growing from there with a really easy to use platform. So in this case, that's also the addition, not only to having a good technology behind, but also to provide an easy to use and understand dashboard, because that will be the best win for all the sites, because the developers will have what they need and also the managers will have what they need. So basically, this is this representation. So as you could see, with FlexSite, we are going to provide more granular control in the resources. The dashboard will be really useful for you to understand what are you using, when are you using the things, and all those kind of things. So this is the problem that we are solving, and this is the model that we want to provide to our people. So yeah, as I told before, these are maybe the main pain points so far with the existing traditional hosting: wasted resources, unnecessary environments, because even if some providers are already providing multi-environment projects, those multi-environments are like sometimes predefined or something like that, or those are spin up from the beginning of the project. So maybe you have when you start, you already have a production environment, but you don't need a production environment when you are starting. You just need maybe that development environment and a QA environment, and that's it. Maybe in the future, you just need the production, and you can just go to production at that moment. So basically, with the traditional or strategy, you are given unnecessary environments. And also, in some cases, the interfaces are really difficult to understand because the interfaces are still really technical, and all the places they are using technical language. So at the end, for a project manager or for a site builder or for someone trying to adopt Drupal, all those terminology, all those things are difficult to understand and manage. So we are trying to improve this situation, generating a platform that will uh, be able to provide the best of both worlds. So yeah, as I told you before, this is our idea. Our idea is that will provide the things that you need in an easier way to manage, and you will be only paying for the things that you are using. So now, to start just talking, I want to show you, for example, how to create a project in FlexSite. It is really simple. And from the perspective of a project manager, that's really great because you will see in just one dashboard all the things that you will be able to start really easy. So I will do that. Right now, what I'm showing to you is the FlexSite dashboard. This is the same dashboard that you will have when you logged in, where you sign up using your beta access. And in this dashboard, as you can see, I have this docs project. This is the documentation for this dashboard. So we are already using FlexAds for our things. And I will create a new project. And that's really simple. You just click here, and as you can see, the interface is really easy to understand. All the steps are really clear for any non-technical user to do the things. And now I will create a new FlexSite project. This will be like the webinar project. Then, as you could see here below, currently we are managing Drupal CMS, but we already are working on supporting different versions or installations of Drupal, like Drupal 9, Drupal 10, Drupal 11. And in those other difference that you will notice is that in this case, he has this chip or this label that is called codeless, because yeah, the idea behind Drupal CMS is that anyone can just build a website using the interface, the Drupal interface. So for that reason, it's tagged like codeless. But sometimes you will need to manage more advanced project and have a code integration and things like that. Our code management system is called FlexLab, and we are already working on that. And you will be able to have like a full integrated code management system in your project. So this is the reason they are here. You will see them disabled, but this is because they are coming soon. And also, as you could see here, we have some options. These options are coming from depending on the installation type, in this case, the Drupal CMS. And as some of you may know, Drupal CMS used to provide some predefined content types or these kind of things that you can use. So for example, I will just check some of them, and then I will go to next. And in the next part, as you could see, we are also making really easy to start using a theme. Usually in Drupal, to use a theme, you need to go to the interface, or you need to use maybe Composer, and then download the theme and then install the theme and these kind of things. But we are reducing all that complexity because we are assuming the people want to try Drupal, want to use Drupal from the day one, and they want to see the potential that Drupal has. So basically, what you are seeing here are some Drupal things that are already contributed in the community, and they are very well suited for Drupal 11 version for Drupal CMS. So as you could see, you can select some of them. You can see some nice view about the theme, some screenshots. You will see the components that that theme is providing, and these kind of things. And in this part, I remember Sergio talked at the beginning that we want to provide the first Drupal marketplace, and we maybe that could be controversial, but yeah, we decided to do that. So part of this integration that you are seeing here is a Drupal marketplace behind the scenes. So just to show you really fast, because this is not the main topic of this webinar, but here in my account, I have this provider section. And in this provider section, I will be able to, in some way, be a provider of themes for the FlexSite platform, for the Drupal CMS, or for any Drupal version. I will be able to be, for example, a provider in the future of some modules with some specific functionality. So I will be able to control all the projects that I want to provide to the community. I can provide free projects and things like that. So this is just like an initial version or a prototype of the marketplace, and we will start testing that soon. And maybe you will be surprised about some of the companies that will start here. So that will be the intention to start contributing in this way also to the entire Drupal ecosystem and Drupal community. So I just wanted to show you that really fast because, as I told before, this is not the intention of this webinar, but I just wanted to let you know that we are we are aiming to be able to achieve those things. So, okay, now I will go to create the webinar project. I will just leave the code list, event. Next, I will select one of these themes, for example, this one, and I will create the project. It is possible as well just to not select any project and just use the default Olivero theme in Drupal. So basically what you are seeing here right now is the installation process. Also, as you could see, this is really nice looking for all the people. It's not like a Drupal installation screen where you are seeing all the things happening. In this case, we decide to do this also because another important reason is that you can go outside and continue navigating all your platform. without any issues in the installation. You can go back and you can do this, and there are no issues in the installation. With the regular Drupal installation, if you try this with other providers, you will see that it is not that good. I will just say that. So the good thing is that you don't need to stay to wait on the computer until it is ready. You can just continue doing other things, and behind the scenes, the project is being prepared for you. So that's another advantage. Most of the things that we are doing in the platform are happening behind the scenes, so you don't need to wait for them to happen. And in the future, we want to integrate an activity log to be able to see when the things are ready and all this kind of situation. So basically, as you could see here, just demoing this part, you can see the potential of the easy to use interface for any uh, for any project manager or non-technical people, or even if they already know Drupal, this will be a really simple way to start working with Drupal projects. So I think while this is installing, I can give Sergio the control so he can show you other advantages for site builders as well.
Thanks, Ivan. So, as you just noticed, in the meantime, while the project is being created, there is no way the project is going to fail because we don't depend on the batch API on Drupal. Even if you close your browser or you need to stop your machine for any reason, Drupal is still being installed behind the scenes thanks to Drush and other asynchronous APIs. So something that Ivan mentioned it is that we wanted to make it easier for newcomers on Drupal, right? So it is not an easy task, and Drupal community has been working on that way for a long time. But I think it is not just the application, the server and the platform where you are hosting your Drupal site should be as easy as the CMS is. So we been trying to make it easy even for people which is not familiar to Drupal. And what you will see, what you will notice when you try the platform is that we built a couple modules in order to integrate Drupal with the platform, with the hosting platform in a better way. So one of them is the FlexSite Shield. Um, we are trying to reduce wasting, right? But in order to do that, you need to not just to provide a way to um, remove the waste, but to keep it under your control. Because it doesn't matter if you provide a way to set up varnish services or to increase your CPU or to change the number of replicas on your containers or how scalable could be your system if you are not protecting that system from misconfiguration, from human mistake, and Drupal it's complex. I mean, at the beginning, before you get to know all the tools, terminology, entities, bundles, modules, themes, it could be complex. So, and even at that point, there are still gray areas like how to configure properly varnish when you are scaling, how to configure Redis, CDN, uh, uh, firewall, all those tools that should be integrated with Drupal and are not a nice to have. At some point, it's needed. So we start from scratch, configuring all those things for you, and you will decide at what time you want to scale or to provide more resources to certain environments or projects instead of starting with a lot of wasted environments that are just waiting for traffic because it could be months before you actually launch your site and those servers are just basically wasting resources. So we have the shield trying to protect all those layers, trying to protect that your site is always properly configured. And we have what we call our own version of the tour module, which is basically the layer that integrates the platform with Drupal, so we could show people that it's unfamiliar with Drupal how we manage most of the things. Then let me show you how that works on our actual platform. This is the project that Ivan just created. I have access to the same organization, and that's why I'm getting the access to the project. As you can see, we are taking some snapshots, we are taking some quality metrics, and some features that we think are needed for free. We are not charging anything for our customers for those tools that are useful. Um, then you could go to, as you can see, Ivan just created the project, but we spin up a new dev environment, which is my main environment at this point. You don't need any other environments yet because you are not testing your features. And as soon as you need it, you could create the environment, and at that point, you could allocate the resources, not before. And then if you want to, we have some insights here, out of the box metrics that you could use. We have a managed composer and security updates here that you could leverage instead of relying on the on packages on Drupal CMS, because it is safer if you have a way to roll back your changes. So having control on your server, we could perform those updates on a safer way. And you have a view admin access here. You could see that we have multiple domains here because it could change. You could add new custom domains. And as soon as you want to log in on that site, you just need to follow that link. And then you have your Drupal CMS site. Something interesting here is that we have some additional options here, and we have reduced other options that you don't want to control from here. Things like varnish, server resources, varnish purge, Redis configuration. All those things are more related to the platform, to your hosting service. So we are managing those things for you with the Shield module. That's why you don't see those things here on Drupal. But we are adding things like the site onboarding, which is an improved version of the tour module. And we are trying to spread the message and help new joiners on Drupal to manage their CMS, right? So you could, whenever you want, you could go through all those tours and you could follow the suggestions. And we are trying to make it easier for site builders when they have a first impression about Drupal. Other than that, it's just a Drupal CMS, right? Everything should be working as expected, and all the resources are working as we want, right? We have tuned MySQL, we have tuned Varnish, Redis. You have all those things out of the box, and even a CloudFront and firewall on any new site you create. So that's the tour, and that's basically the Shield module as well. We will show you more about the user-friendly interface in the next topic. So it's something that we define is that we notice is that organizations need to scale. At some point, you could start a project with a couple co-workers, but it could change. Along the time, you could introduce more people to your project, and you could need a more advanced system of permissions. So we have basically a 2 layers permission system. We are trying not to make it too complex, because sometimes if you make it too flexible, it could go sideways. It could be tricky for people to understand what is the best practice. So we are trying to standardize 2 layers matrix system between organizations and projects. And as you can see, when we go to the FlexSite platform, we have a members tab here for my organization. And as you can see, you could have multiple organizations, but I will focus on the one we are presenting right now, which is FlexSite. So you have multiple members. You don't have a limit for members, and you have multiple roles here. We try to make it to keep it simple. So we have viewers, we have admins. That's kind of self-explanatory. But then we have members, and members have what I will call they are an empty vessel role. At the beginning, it has no permissions to any project, but you could add them to a specific projects. So it is like an organization user with project scoped permissions. Admin has access to basically billing, team composition, and all projects by default. And viewers have only audit permissions. They could see everything, but they couldn't make any changes. And you could add any members and assign any role. And you could do the same with your projects. When you go to your team, you could, oh, I think I don't have access to this project. But there we have three more roles, which are the project admin, project developer, and project viewer. And that's when your members could become actual active users for the project. And depending on the role you assign on the project, those members will become admins, viewers, or developers. Developers basically will be able to build and deploy or manage environments, but they don't have permissions to change the team's composition as I have right now here. And project admins could have full control of your environment, deployments, users, but they still don't have permissions to the billing, to change the billing, or basically allocate paid resources in other projects. It's project scope permission. So that's basically our architecture. On top of that, we have environments. When you have a project, unless you are trying, because it's something you could explore on the trial, but we have internal or hosted projects and we have external projects. You could even leverage some of our tools, not all of them, but you could leverage the quality metrics, the crawler with the screenshots, and the scraper with external projects. And the idea is to provide a way to migrate your projects from other platforms on a easy way. So here you have environments. The initial environment was dev. It is our main environment right now, but you could create more as uh, any number of environments you need. And then you just need to add a new name. And we don't want to force anyone to or compel the teams to follow a certain workflow. We want it to be flexible, but we want to provide the options. So you could call this a test environment and you could use it for QA. But what if you want to create just another site, which is a clone from my previous environment, and I want to assign a new domain because that site that I need to create is basically mimicking what I was creating before, but with a few changes. You could do that. You could name this second site, and then you could point a custom domain. There is no difference here from minor environments to major unless you wanted to make them minor environments and major environments, because you could allocate your resources as you want. So if you want to treat this environment as something that will be production, you could just name it as you wish. And you have here a way to copy everything from the previous environment when you are spinning up this new environment. So I will just click create a new environment, and I think Ivan could take the ownership from here.
Yep. I will be taking the ownership from here. As you could see so far, Sergio already showed you some of the main features that we have. He was showing you that, yeah, we are already supporting really great things. We are already supporting CDN integration. We are supporting SSL certificates. When you start playing with the platform, you will see that we are providing most of the tools that the teams used to need for working with Drupal. So as you could see in our homepage, we are providing the CDN, we are providing as Sergio said before, we are providing cache layers like Varnish, Redis. All those things are pre-configured. We are providing quality metrics. We are providing, we didn't show you yet our Flexi, our AI assistant, but I will show you in a minute. We are automatically, when you want to go to production and you want to set up a new domain, we are automatically configuring the SSL certificates for you. So you need to follow that process. You just need to point your domain, follow the steps to point your DNS or to verify your ownership, and that's it. We'll be doing all the things behind the scenes. As you know, we are using a really great and powerful CMS that it's Drupal. And also, our infrastructure allows you to give you a really great uptime because most of the situations, for example, where you are updating an environment or something like that, as we told you before, those things are happening in background, and we are having a replica system that is able to maintain the site all the time, responding to the end users what it is doing the things behind the scenes, and it is preparing a replica with the updates, and then when everything is ready, it is just replacing the entire thing, so there is no downtime for your system. So I will show you that in a minute. But maybe one of the main features, one of the great things that we want to show you is that maybe at the beginning it could be maybe confusing because other vendors do not use to provide this kind of thing. But what we think could be a game changer is the credit system. So basically, maybe some of you can be familiar with some platforms that provide credit systems or tokens or something similar. In our case, they are similar in some way, but there are some differences. So basically, the idea behind the credits is that we want to provide some number of credits that you can use to allocate resources in the places that you really need them. So it is to provide flexibility and it's to provide more control. Also, as we told you before, it is also to provide a better use of your money because you don't need to pay for things that you are not using. And basically, if you go to our website, we wanted to make it more clear. We have a journey about what the credits are with some important clarifications because we have some differences between the other credit systems. So basically, what are the credits? The credits are just units or capacity or units that allows you to get resources or get something from the platform. So in this case, the best scenario will be to identify or to relate the credits to their resources. So basically, they are units of resources. So, for example, you can have a plan. In this case, as you told before, they are resources. There are another important thing about the credits that can be also confusing for most of the people is that the credits, in our case, they are not cumulative or they don't expire. You just have a number of credits depending on your plan. So as you could see, for example, in the example that I will show you later, we'll have a plan, for example, with 50 credits. And it doesn't mean that you are expanding your credits. In this case, we are not expanding, but you are just distributing your credits. So that's the advantage. You don't need to think in credits like something that you need to buy packages or credits. You are just buying a plan that has a number of credits, and then you can distribute them when you need it. So this is the difference. Our plans contain credits that you can allocate in your resources and in your projects as you want. We are not just increasing and increasing servers or something like that. We are just giving you more credits for you to allocate in different projects. So this could be an example. You can have 3 projects and you can allocate your resources in 3 different projects as you need. For example, you have one project that is only using a dev environment, and you have other that is using 2 environments like test and dev or something like that. You can allocate them as you need. Also, you can allocate per environment. So you can decide which environment will have maybe more CPU, more memory, more space for the varnish to store more memory for the varnish or things like that. So also you can allocate credits per environment, which is also an advantage because you can have a really lightweight and a small development environment. And then when you go to production, you can create your environment and increase the things that you need only for the production environment. So that's another advantage. So this is an example. For example, you can have 50 credits. With 50 credits, you can have 5 small sites because the minimum environment that we provide costs 10 credits. So it means you can just have 5 projects with the single dev environment working with 50 credits. Or you can use exactly the same number of credits with 2 medium projects. For example, you can have just 2 projects, and in one project, in each project, you can have, for example, 2 environments with some configurations. Or maybe you can use the entire 50 credits in just one big project that will have more environments and will increase more characteristics or more resources in your environment. So, and basically, as I told before, you are not expanding your credit. You are just distributing your credit. So, at any moment, you can just take your credits back, just move in some draggers and recover those credits to use in another place, and you can relocate whenever you want to. So I will show you that right now, because for example, we can go to our webinar project that we were seeing before, and now as you could see, we have exactly 2 environments that are the same. We have the dev environment and the test environment that Sergio created before. And for the test, for example, as we said before, you want to increase something on this environment because you know that will be some intensive QA task or something like that that you want to provide more resources for, or maybe you want to increase just the memory because in the test environment you are doing some specific things. So I want to show you something. Before increasing or before tweaking the configuration, I will do something similar that Sergio did. I will just go to this. I will go to the admin view of this, and I will show you how the Drupal statistics or how the Drupal report shows me the configuration. So you can see that the things are really changing. So for example, if I go here to reports and the status report, for example, we can just take a measure in the report that could be the memory limit or something like that, something easy to track from here. It is possible to track other information from Drupal, but this is a simple one. So now I will go to this environment configuration and I will go to the build settings. For the build settings, we are giving a lot of flexibility, but as I told you before, we are trying to make simpler for non-technical people to understand the things. So we have some presets that the people can use. For example, I don't know how to set up maybe a QA environment. I don't know how to set up a production environment. So we have some presets that you can use to start with, or you can go to the advanced configuration. So in the advanced configuration, you can just have the full control because in this advanced section, you maybe already know what you want to do. So in this case, I will increase the server memory to 1 GB. And for the PHP memory limit, that is the number that we were seeing before, I will increase to this. And there is something interesting happening here. As you could see right now, I have the number of credits that I have available at the top, and I have the number of credits that it will cost. So right now I have 10 credits, and it is telling me that if I want to increase the memory for this environment, it will take 3 credits more. So yeah, that's okay. I have the credits. I want to do it now. So I will save the changes. It is confirming because this is an important thing before using or distributing your credits. So now, as you can see, it is doing the process behind the scenes as we said for other things that the platform used to do. And that's a really good thing as well, because I want to show you that even while it is processing this change, there is no downtime. The site is still working. So this environment, which I'm updating or upgrading, this environment is still responding really good. You can still work on this environment, and all the things are happening behind the scenes. So you don't need to worry about that. You can just continue doing your things. You can wait for the system to finish. At some point, it will finish, as you could see, and maybe we can go back to the report, and we can see if Drupal now recognizes the new configuration of these environments. So let me go here. And as you could see now, previously, uh, you notice that it was showing that we have lower capacity in the memory limit, and now we were tweaking the things from the environment's configuration, and now we have a bigger capacity in the memory limit for this environment. So that's really simple and easy for anyone, for a site builder, for a project manager, and even for people that is not expert on DevOps management. And from here, you will see that we have multiple options: more CPU for processes in the server, more memory, varnish, Redis. You can modify some of the Drupal important options. You can even protect your environment with basic authentication. So maybe you don't want anyone else to be able to access your environment, so you will be able to protect your environment. And all those things are really simple and easy to use. From here, you will notice when something is requiring credits, you will see the message, you will have the confirmation, and everything will go smoother, as you could see. And also, the good thing is that you will be able to see what's happening with your credits. When you click here in the balance or in the credits number, it will take you to the billing page, where you can see like the summary of the things. So for example, right now I'm in the pro plan. In this plan, I have 50 credits, as we were saying before. It tells me that I have 7 remaining because I already allocate most of my resources. So I'm using this percentage of my credits, and I can go here to the usage, and I can see like the details of all the things that I'm using for. For example, as you could see, I have 2 projects, one project for the documentation of the dashboard, and we have 2 environments. And we have the webinar project with 2 environments. If in the basic configuration, they used to require 10 credits. And also you can see the upgrades. So the memory upgrade that I just have enabled is taking 3 credits. So at the end, this is like a great summary. You can control where are the credits going, and you can decide, oh, for example, I need to move these credits here. I don't need more CPU in this test environment. I will give that resource to the production environment. You can just go ahead there, drag the things, recover your credits, and then redistribute as you need. Also, to allow you to play with that before doing the real changes, in the billing page, at the end of the billing page, but this is something that we will provide public, you will have this great calculator. So you don't need to start playing with your credits live. You don't need to start doing that thing. You can just use our credit calculator, which provides some great insights and presets as well. So for example, you can start with a one environment. It means 10 credits. Then you can add another project. Then in this project, I can say that I want to add another environment. So I'm just expending 30 credits. And then in this development environment, I want to increase this. And as you could see, it is telling me all the time what is the number of credits that I need to have to be able to have that configuration. So basically, this calculator is the way that you can use to start thinking about what could be the best distribution for your credits, and you can play with the calculator at any moment and uh, maybe prepare your budget for that or something like that. So this is one of the great things. I think that at the beginning the credit system can look complicated, but I think once you start using it, you will see the real advantage of having that control and having that power in your dashboard. So yeah, I think Sergio can show you now the next part.
So I think this is the last section of the webinar. We would like to share with you the perks of for early adopters, and not just for the customers, but for vendors or developers who are willing maybe to um, get their themes or packages available on the marketplace and get a revenue, monthly revenue from those resources. Because the idea is to cut the waste and the money that customers are not wasting on resources. It's money that could be spent on vendors and contributions and themes packages that you will offer. So for the early adopters, we have a pricing that Ivan was sharing on the billing page. It is accessible only for authenticated users. As long as we end this webinar, you will be able to log in into the platform and check the billing page. Just to let you know, those prices will be there for limited time, but for early adopters, we will keep those prices locked. And we have a trial for a period of time of 1 month, but we consider to extend the trial for people that it's helping us to with feedback, with to improve the platform basically, or even people that it's learning from Drupal, or maybe institutions that are helping other people to join the Drupal community. Um, I think that's it about our beta program. Well, I encourage you to please try the platform. It is a beta, but it's not just a prototype. It has a lot of features that are stable, working as expected, and we are building a lot more tools. You could take a look at those tools we are building on our roadmap page. The idea is that once you are able to log in, you could share your feedback here, or you could share your feedback directly on any page on the platform, because both Flexi and our feedback feature have context about what page are you visiting at that time. So if you report a bug or a feature request, we will get information from the context about the page you were visiting, environments page, project page, billing, and we will have enough information to improve our platform. So please let us know if you consider something a bug, or if you are looking for a new feature that will make you maybe to uh, make a decision and move to our platform. Please let us know if you, that feedback is really appreciated. Um, Additionally, we have the roadmap where you could share with us if you are interested in any of those features just by clicking on that I'm interested button. And once you are signed in, you will be able to vote for those features that you want to see on our platform. And we are uh, keeping updated these progress bars for every tool we are building. So as you can see, we are building a lot of interesting tools. One of them is the code manager that Ivan was mentioning. The idea with that code manager is that it will provide out of the box CI/CD integration with our platform. You don't need to configure any GitHub actions. You don't need to know how to uh, configure any pipelines, because it will be there out of the box, and it will spin up environments on demand, and you could add your team to contribute on your repository. So there is a small example here with one of our projects. Once you have a Flex Lab project, which is how we call that product, you could go to the code section and you could open that on our GitLab based tool. So you could log in and you will have the regular tools that any developer should have for contributing on our repository project. That's basically one of our initiatives. It's in progress, and we will let you know when it is ready. Uh, I think that's it, if I'm not wrong, Ivan.
Yeah, that's it. Basically, we want you to see the roadmap, and as Sergio said before, every feedback is really appreciated. We want you to be able to use the platform, go to any corner, uh, give us all the feedback that you can, bugs, features, and that will also at some point it will be traduced in some new things in our main roadmap and the things that we will start working on. But yeah, that's it. I think for the time that we have so far, there is no good time for questions. So maybe what we can do is to share with you via email or something like that all the contact channels. But you already know that you have the feedback form in the platform. You will have the contact email and things like that. So we are open to answer any questions, and we are also analyzing if in the future we can maybe start an Slack a channel or something like that for some people to be able to provide feedback in a better way. But yeah, for the content of this webinar, these are the things that we wanted to show you, and we hope that you were seeing the potential of this. And as we said from the beginning, this is not a prototype. This is something that is already working. If you spin up sites, if you move configuration, this is not a prototype. This is something that is working. And our intention with the beta is to be able to polish this even more, because we have no rush on launching a product. We want to really give something that is good, that is useful for everyone, and the community can use in the right way. So yeah, I will say that's it for today. Thank you everyone for joining. Thank you, because you are just with this, you are already supporting us. You are already supporting this project just by being a beta, just by joining to this webinar. We are really happy because of that. So thank you everyone for joining, and see you later. And please tell us the platform and let us know all your questions are and feedback.
Thanks, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye. Thank you.